Men's 800 metres, the Kenyans were here in force today. Kiprotich won that event, 1 minute 47.77. Martin Steele ahead of Okash of Somalia. Steele's time 1:48.02 in second. Men's 1,000 metres, Peter Elliott beat the Kenyans this time. Elliott 2 minutes 18.73. Kirochi of Kenya and Malcolm Edwards of Wales in the Army third at 2:20.89.
And so to the final track event of the day, the men's 4x400 metres relay, and some very tasty lineups here, which should produce a very good race. Just 5 teams, as you can see. The Great Britain B team that should have run have scratched, so lanes 1 and 2 empty. We have an international select in lane 3, Belgium in 4, Great Britain A in 5, Australia in 6, and Kenya in lane 7. For the British A team, Paul Sanders will run the first leg. And normally, of course, as they're recalled, I was going to say normally we would go to Seoul for the Olympics with high hopes of winning a medal in this event, but what with the problems of Roger Black and the uncertainty about whether he'll be fit enough even for a place in the relay squad, with the uncertain form of one of our key men, Phil Brown, as well, we have to have slight doubts at this stage.
So while the runners come back to their marks, another chance to look at Roald Bradstock. 76 metres 82, he lies third. Really pleased to be ahead of Mick Hill and David Otley. And not quite as good, less than 75.
I'm saying Tim Hutchings about our problems. We'll come back to that in a moment. Let's let the race get underway. This men's 4x400 metres with the international select team in 3, Belgium 4, Great Britain in 5, Australia in 6, Kenya in 7. Lanes 1, 2 and 8 are empty. Paul Sanders lead off for Great Britain in lane 5, and obviously, Tim, it's a terrible blow, or will be, if Roger Black isn't in our side for Seoul, and with Phil Brown's problems as well, our medal hopes look a little bit less bright than they did a year ago, shall we say.
Well, Alan, we've enjoyed a fantastic period of relay running by our 400 squads. We really have dominated European and to an extent world 4x400 relay running over the last few years. And it's inevitable that you're going to go down a bit and have a patch where perhaps 1 or 2 guys are injured, 1 or 2 guys aren't running so well. Phil Brown's got bad form. Roger's been incredibly unlucky since he won the Europeans in '86.
Looked like a pretty good leg to me from Paul Sanders, who hands on to Steve Thomas. Somewhat of an experimental lineup, obviously, for Britain here. No Derek Redmond, for instance.
Yes, it looked quite good. In fact, 47.8. It wasn't that quick.
The Kenyans had got themselves ahead, but Great Britain now back in front as they break from lanes. Armada running here for the international select on their second.
I wondered to what extent the sort of ill fortunes of 1 or 2 of our 400-metre runners are related to the fact that there are so many demands made upon them now in the international scene. Not only is there a huge circuit of races, this is just one of which, but also the British athletes are involved in more major championships than any other country.
Steve Thomas tying up there. And just about had the strength to hand on to Mark Morris. The Kenyans well placed here. Miles Murphy takes over the third leg for the international select, for whom, by the way, Sunday Uti ran the first leg. Al Malki will run the final leg for them. They're in third place, or second place at the moment, behind Kenya.
47.3 for Steve Thomas on the second leg.
Miles Murphy, I think he was World Junior Champion a couple of years ago, is an Australian. And to an extent, I wonder what he's doing over here. He competed in the Australian summer, he's made their Olympic team, and the Olympics is still quite a long way away. And what he's doing competing in the early and mid-European season, I'm not sure.
Mark Morris really giving it his all here. And Britain, with Brian Whittle running the anchor leg, in a good position to win this. Al Malki, a useful athlete, as we've already been saying earlier today, in second place, challenging Whittle for the lead. He's running for the international select, and then the Kenyans down in third now. Malki eases in front.
It's possible here that Whittle's doing a Phil Brown. He let Al Malki go past him, and he's going to sit on his shoulder and hopefully kick past him just off the bend into the straight. But that's always a dodgy tactic. You've got to be very, very confident with your sprint finish.
Now Malki, the athlete from the Oman, is a very good, top-quality athlete as well. Whittle just gets a bit of daylight. Al Malki comes back at him again. But Whittle wins it. Great Britain beating the international select. Kenya in third. A good end to a good day then for most British athletes.
Right, be sure to rejoin us for that double header here on tomorrow week, that is, with the Great North Run and the American Olympic Trials. Carl Lewis has just